that it researched? Yeah, probably like. You did it? Is that right this year? Yeah.
Stand up front. Would you like a chair, miss? Oh, thank you.
I want to use this. And I know the guy better.
This is retiring. Hi. Yes, yes, and I just mentioned.
You need more chairs?
Or is it separate?
I'll try.
But you're okay with having this video? Up to you. You can.
I don't think you were good to see you. Oh my God. It never goes away. Steve. Hi. Nice to meet you. I remember you are a retiree. Yes.
All right, we're resuming our normal meeting, the Leominster School Committee for June 1st, 2026. If we could, join us for rising and saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The Leominster School Committee statement. The school committee represents the needs of all Leominster public school students and places their interests above all others. We will exercise leadership, adhere to our protocols, and base our decision upon reasoned assessment of all available information. We will advocate for each of our schools support high quality public education in Leominster. Is it moving quickly into public comment? Is there anybody here who would like to make some public comment? Anybody here in person or online for public comment?
There was one person,
Online? Oh, yeah.
but there were online on here. Josh and Tommy.
Third time? Online, in person?
Maybe we can do it after, because they may not.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a
until
minute.
6.
Mine's not even set up yet.
All right, we'll come back to that. So we'll move right into the recognition of retirees. I'll pass it off to the chair.
Trying to sign these things.
Superintendent?
All right, exciting. I was reading some of the amount of years that some of the people have been here, and I still think we're like 25, and I'm not sure what happened, but it's remarkable to see the years of service that people have given us, and that's consecutive without a break, and that's quite something, so we appreciate everything, trust me. It's not an easy job. I once taught, what was the course? It was business course, and it was 1 hour, 5 weeks. That was the end of my career in teaching. And I had all I could do to get through the hour. I was waiting for like a commercial break or something. Like, isn't it lunchtime? Junior Achievement, that's what it was called. Do you remember that? So they decided to expand it to the high school across the country. And they said, would you mind doing it? You've done it, in other schools. And I said, sure, I'd love to. After day one, I was looking for a substitute. So we all, I think we speak on behalf of everyone here, that all of us have been to the schools, in the schools, had kids and grandkids in the schools. So we appreciate your many years of service and dedication. And for all those family members who had to listen to all of the stories before school and then after and then all summer, you were their therapy, so thank you. So you get some credit tonight. All right, Superintendent. Wait till we get this on live, or no?
Are we
It might
close?
take me like 5 minutes.
All right.
Okay. So Steve Mamoni has some information that
All
he
right.
would like to share. Thank everyone. We have certificates, and Mayor, as the chair of the school committee, if you wouldn't mind going up and with Mr. Mamoni to award the certificates to our retirees. And then I think everyone will pass through and
Might be the last group of people I actually know that worked in the schools. Huh?
Yes, right. Thank you for coming, obviously. Very excited to be able to recognize people for their hard work and number of years of service. And so we have 19 retirees in this cycle, and that reflects 435 combined years of service for the students of Leominster Public Schools. And so that, I say thank you for all the students that have passed through your influence. And so it was certainly impactful. I estimated that, I'm going to overestimate just a little bit, but not many, about 20,000 students, because we have, high school teachers, and you see hundreds, per year, administrators, hundreds per year, right? And so paraprofessionals go into 6 classrooms every day. Those kinds of impacts on students are greatly felt. And it's not one student, it is many. So I certainly want to thank you for that. Okay. Do you want to join us, Superintendent?
The school committee could all join.
Okay, perfect. I was nervous about them going around.
So I've done this before. If you do a little fist bump, this thing moves a lot faster. There's gonna be about 200 degrees in here in about 5. Also, this is on Leominster, LTV, Leominster.tv. So they're capturing it all. So if you want to go back, it's on demand. And it's also what? On YouTube now? Yeah, so you can catch it like anywhere. You can just yell up in the air and it'll appear.
Okay, so when I call your name, you'll start with me. I'll present the certificate, and then see the mayor, and then the rest of the school committee. First, Francine Riggs, 34 years. Santiago Jury, 26 years. Marie Keane.
Congratulations. Nobody wants to fix.
Paula Dorval, 38
Wow.
years of service.
I knew you went.
Tracy Perkins, 21 years.
Coming, y'all.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Congratulations. And do something fun now.
I will.
No, this was fun, but I mean, you know.
Grandbabies over there.
Well, there you go. I knew that was coming.
Cynthia Delaney, 5 years. Very nice. Maureen Provencher, 17 years. Deborah Lee Hudson, 34 years. And Margaret Tessie Mitchell, 35 years. David Blasey, 18 years.
Congratulations.
Are you going to read all the names into the record later, right? I also want to read the names of the people that are unable to attend. If I missed you and you did attend, now's the time. Okay. We have Stella Rand, 23 years. Sylvia Bullock, 2 years. Kimberly Tate, 20 years. Lisa Mueller, 19 years. Ann Castles, 36 years. Darla Donovan, 15 years. Donna Cardoni, 20 years. Okay, so in order to save everyone from the actual school committee meeting, we're going to invite you into the hallway for some refreshments, and then the meeting will continue.
I have a
So-
story, though.
Oh,
All right, quick story. So Wall Street Journal did its article about 5 years ago on people that had retired and gone to work. So they tracked people down and said, "We just retired, why'd you go back to work?" So they found people who, even though they enjoyed their vocation, they loved what they did, there was always something else they wanted to do. So there was this guy, and I'm not suggesting you sell your house and everything, but he always wanted to be a puppeteer. So he sold his house, he moved closer to New York City, where he'd get the train every day, and he went in. And he became a puppeteer. So don't sell the house. I don't want to get phone calls tomorrow like the for sale signs on the front lawn. Go out and have some fun. Do something that you always wanted to do. Don't run for mayor.
once again, thank you for your years of service from the students from Leominster Public Schools.
Thank you.
Now, this didn't get on the charger, obviously. Is there another one of these?
I don't think it's one of those.
Okay. Somebody,
Yeah.
You want to say food gravel sticks, I guess, right?
Yeah, I think we let it charge for about 10 minutes.
That's never even good.
I'm not sure. I'm going. He's saying good
This is just,
Just move right. Just buy them. Yeah, you want to stay.
when you hit 75, but they don't
She's
have.
gonna retire for all time. Didn't you retire before? You missed it. Well, you missed it. It keeps you young.
I heard a nice story.
But maybe
I heard a nice story. From the time that just good guys involved in it.
Yeah. We can do a box fight at the end of your retire.
I'm live, really.
He had a wonderful life. Worked at the Department of around all those kids.
I'm gonna grab this for now.
You know yet? We got half more to go. You can't do like facsimile? No. Auto pen?
I signed the rest, so I have to sign.
Yeah, I know. You got it.
Well, if you did one, no,
Wait for the red light.
I'm colorblind. All right, how's that? No? Nothing happening?
One more, it has to be green.
That's the power gun. Just hit.
Green.
There we go.
There you go. I mean, it's a small room, you should be able to hear me. All right. Oh, that's right, okay. All right. Are we going back to public comment? If anyone would like to address the committee, just come forward and your name for, is there a microphone there? Name and address for the record, please.
Go ahead.
There you go.
My name is Bob Greska. I live on Crestfield Lane here in Leominster. And I'd just like to encourage your support for a new policy that's, I don't know if it's before the full committee yet or not, but parental rights. It's kind of ironic, I guess tonight you just had the retirement ceremony for quite a few teachers, and they would probably be able to look back and see how much things have changed in their tenure. But the fact that we need a parental rights policy is kind of speaks to the changes that have happened over the years. It's a pretty simple policy, just to simply be clear and honest, open with parents. They should understand and see and know what's happening with their children. If there are any things like illness, injuries, bullying happening, any misconduct, student gender identification issues, suicidal thoughts or actions, just to make it very clear to the parent and not hold anything like that back from them. Currently, I think you have policies that might conflict with that a bit, and it would be really good if it were just very clear and open so that there's no hidden things from parents. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak? Thank you.
Hello. So, a couple of years ago, it was, my apologies. My name is Josh Natale. I'm from 96 Bicentennial Ave in Leominster. Anyway, a couple of years ago, it was brought to you guys' attention that the school system was transitioning children behind their parents' backs and requiring the teachers not to tell the parents about it. And nothing was done about that. Your transgender students policy lists a reference to a transition plan. So I brought a copy of the first 3 pages of a transition plan that has already been implemented in Leominster Public Schools. And I figured I would show you guys where it points out clear intent and willingness to hide information from parents. So I highlighted in orange all the parts where it points out that you're willing to hide from the parents that the children are undergoing a transition. On the very first page, you'll see there's a parent involvement section where it asks, are the guardians aware of the student's gender status? What level of support will they show from 0 to 10? And if support is low, what considerations will be made so that we can implement this plan anyway? On the second page, you'll see that there's a section that lists how the teachers will address these students in different situations, and it gives students, staff, and parents. That way the student can make it clear they want to be addressed this way in front of their staff and students, but a different way in front of parents. And then on the third page, there's in an effort to give the student privacy, it lists all the different situations where privacy is important, and they have official home school communication and unofficial school home communication listed as it, so that they can keep this information private from the parents when contacting home. And finally, in case none of that spelled it out enough, at the bottom of page 3, there's a section that literally states, if the student's guardians are not aware or supportive of the student's gender status, how will school-home communications be handled, including when individual staff members need to contact guardians? Thank you. Just thought you all would like to know.
Thank you.
Once again, anyone like to address the committee? If so, we got all these Fallbrook people here today. All right, once again, last time? You sure? You sure? If not, we'll close this portion of the meeting. Thank you very much. And we will now move on to, you've done everything but communications. Let's move on to communications.
No communications.
All right. Now move on to student report. Look at that. We've got like this recruit system going.
Hi, I'm Richie Barnaby.
Hi, Richie.
This is senior week. Seniors turned in Chromebooks and picked up their caps and gowns in yearbooks today. Thursday and Friday, seniors have rehearsal at Doyle Field at 8:30 a.m. Thursday is also senior walk, which is right after rehearsal, and Thursday night at 7 is senior awards night. Friday, the senior barbecue will be right after the rehearsal. And graduation is at Saturday at 10, gates open at 8:30. Tomorrow and Wednesday, LHS freshmen will take biology MCAS. Nathan Daniels won Best Actor Award for the state of Massachusetts and will represent Mass in the 2026 Jimmy Awards in New York City. Nathan won this award for a role as Tin Man in Wizard of Oz at LHS. On Wednesday, June 10th, students from LHS will present their civics action projects at City Hall. The chorus won 4 gold medals and the band won 2 gold medals at the Music in the Parks Festival on Saturday. Chorus won for the LHS Chorus, Select Chorus, Bella Voss Treble Choir, and Ain't No Treble Bass Choir. The band won for Concert Band and Jazz Band. The Samoset and Skyview bands and choruses also won 2 gold medals and 4 silvers. Many LHS teams qualify for tournaments this season, including tennis, boys lacrosse, softball, and baseball. Boys lacrosse goaltender Jacob Halstead was named USA Lacrosse All-American, which is an award given to the top 5 players in Central Mass, and the baseball team is still in the tournament playing Wednesday at Doyle.
Wow. Busy. It's busy around here. Cookout and everything. That's why they call it Senior Week. There's something every day. And we're going to have good weather, right? Isn't that true? Have good weather?
Yep.
While we're on this subject, I've been saying this for at least the last 2 weeks. If you come to graduation and you think there's a reserved spot for you up front at 5 minutes of 10, you're probably wrong. And then in the last 3 or so years, we've had a security check. So if you think you're going to be in your seat by 10 and you're going to get there at 5 of, it's probably unlikely to happen. So just so people know, that's all. It's going to be a beautiful day. Put your sunscreen, patience. You could park at Watertown Plaza, walk down the trail, ride your bike down the trail, lock it to the fence. There's all kinds of ways. Or you can just walk. And we'll get you in there. So, again, for anybody disappointed that they can't get right into graduation and that, I feel for you, but leave early. Thank you for your presentation. It was good.
Okay, I'd like to, if I may now,
Yes, we have 2
I
seats.
would like to thank
You can.
Hirsch Patel for his work on this committee as a
No.
senior, as a representative. He did a
Got here.
wonderful job. And I'd like to introduce the 2 new young gentlemen for next year. We have Richie Barnaby, who just spoke, and
job,
he's a
Richie.
senior
You're
at
gonna be here
LHS. And the other young man is Joby Jean-Pierre.
All right.
Correct? All right, welcome. Thank you.
Sure. Let's have the CTEI report.
All right, good evening, everybody, staff and students. My name is Joby Jean-Pierre, and I will be the CTEI representative that will be taking the place of Hirsch Patel. I'd like to thank you all for inviting me to this position. and I look forward to representing all the shop and trades people that go to the school and work very hard to be the next people for the Leominster community. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome. So Hirsch, you have a whole life planned out? Like every step of the way? I know you do.
I was surprised you didn't have like a cousin or a sister, that's going to be a senior,
Well, good luck to yourself, and we'll see you at graduation. Get there early. Yeah, you could
Yeah,
give
what are you
yourself a
doing?
little plug. I was baiting you there.
Took away his mic already.
I'm going to UMass Amherst for chemical engineering, but before that, I will be speaking at graduation, so please come to hear my speech.
All right. Okay, and awards night is Thursday night at what time, 7? Okay. All right, now we're going to move on to superintendent's report.
Okay, well, we're in great shape because
What did I miss?
most of my report has already been said. Thank
Okay.
you. There's just a few things that I want to highlight as.
I think she was just saying skills.
Yeah, I'm going to introduce them in a moment. Yep. So Leominster High School graduation Saturday at Doyle Field at 10 a.m. As the mayor has said, please come early. We have one entrance, and so it will be crowded the closer we get to the start time. Leominster Center for Excellence graduation ceremony is Thursday at 1 p.m. at Tata Auditorium, so I just want to make sure I mention that. We have an LPAC family fun night scheduled for next Tuesday, June 9th at 6 p.m. at Tata Auditorium. I also want to congratulate the teachers and students who participated in the music department's hosting of our first Leominster Music in the Parks, as Richard had mentioned, that occurred on Saturday. 12 student groups from our high school performed, as well as our student choral groups from our middle schools. And they received feedback from judges during this short clinic, and many were awarded medals based on their performance. So it was a great experience, and hopefully we will continue to do that moving forward. We have a family survey that is currently open for families to provide voice around the school system and how we can best support you. So please go to our social media, and it is posted in my weekly message, the links in Portuguese, Spanish, and English so that people can have their voices heard. So please take a moment to fill that out. We urge families to check the school calendar. There's lots going on. We have 15 days of school left, and so now's the time to see what special events are going on to wrap up the school year in your child's school. We also have listed our summer programming on our social media pages and also in my weekly Sunday message. We just posted enrichment programs for this summer for our secondary, and so there are lots of interesting offerings, and if you're interested, please sign up as soon as possible. And I think everything else was said. So at this time, I'd like to introduce our Skills USA program. I believe Renee Koska is here to introduce our students who were medal recipients this spring.
They would like to do it all by themselves, so I am going to hand it over to them. You know Evan.
His laugh or off?
Hello. Oh, we're not on the camera. Thank you. So we are the Skills USA state medalists from CTI. Skills USA is a national technical trade competition, and basically any part of Skills USA is encompassed in the CTI shops. So we have students that go for graphics, we have students that go for electrical, construction wiring, business tech, robotics, culinary. And so these are 10 of the 12 people who went to states this year, and 90% of the 12 of us placed at states this year, which was amazing for us. And the first round is districts, and we competed 30 students from Leominster CTI this year at districts, which was a monumental task to get them all involved and kind of get the outreach out about Skills USA. But we're going to talk about kind of what each shop does, or what each trade competition does.
Yeah, I can do it. So I'm one of the competitors with Skills USA, and us four did a competition called Teamworks, which is very unique because it's one of the only competitions at Skills that combines multiple shops. It combines the shop of masonry, carpentry, electrical, and plumbing, and our goal is to basically build a mini shed within the span of 2 days using all four of those skills and create the best project that we can. It's a very interesting experience for us, especially because this was the first Teamworks team that we've ever sent. So it was a very interesting learning curve, but we learned a lot, and it was really cool to get the experience to work together and use our teamwork skills and use our shop skills to output a project, and we got to see it built from the ground up and see our own result. You guys want to add anything?
Another thing to point out is our competition is the only 2-day competition, so we go up before everyone else, and I think you get roughly 10 hours. I ended up being the carpenter, Seth here was the electrician, Nate here was the plumber, and we don't have a masonry shop, so CJ took up the task from carpentry to take the masonry. So, yeah.
Hey everybody, my name is Maron, this is Grace, and our other team member Alicia is unfortunately not here. We are from Business Tech. This is our first year sending students to our competition, and what we participated in is the Career Pathways Business Management and Technology competition, and our job was to create basically a slide or presentation product that would kind of combine all the skills we've ever learned in our class. And what we came up with is a water bottle brand, and it's called Dirty Water. And ironically, it's supposed to give you guys like a water bottle that's like insulated and also gives you clean water at any time. And we just wanted to do a little wordplay. Our shop focused a lot on marketing and social media marketing, so we used those skills to make sure to like differentiate us from like all the other competitors, and I think that's why we stood out. We gave them a really good presentation. Our sales pitch was really good, and it was a very good opportunity for us. Do you want to add anything?
And then Evan and I compete in urban search and rescue robotics. So basically what we do is we construct a robot ahead of the competition, and then we practice with it and bring it to the competition. And there we compete in 3 different skill challenges that test all the different abilities of both ourselves and our robot in a simulated search and rescue mission for searching for simulated bomb ordnances and retrieving them and disposing of them. And there's also an engineering notebook that we've put together to document our progress with creating the robot. And then there's also a written test on our knowledge in it. Is there anything you want to add?
Not really.
Okay, and then mention Zoe.
And then we also have 2 other students, Zoe from culinary and Aiden Snay from electrical, who both went to states. They aren't here today, but they both placed 3rd in their shops, correct? Yeah. Yep. They both placed 3rd in their competitions, and so Zoe and Aiden competed in construction wiring, so he had to wire up multiple electrical boxes, a doorbell, and then a couple of different light switches and types of things that you would see in either commercial or like residential house construction. And then Zoe had to create an entire culinary whole menu, basically, including she was given a entire frozen chicken, and she had to break down that whole chicken into all the pieces and use it to make different entrees, and then also soups and broths as well. And so, and last year she went to nationals actually as well. She placed 1st in states and went to nationals in Georgia for that. So yeah. Anybody else? You guys have anything? So that's Skills USA.
Nice job.
We were able to go on the Saturday to the competition, and there were over 2,000 students there with 57 schools participating. So for these 12 to take the third place out of all those students, it was remarkable. It was huge for them. So they definitely deserve another round of applause. Thank you.
So now I would like to introduce Dr. Romano. He is going to introduce two of our Project Lead the Way teams who showcased at a regional showcase in the spring as well.
I told you that was a good idea, didn't I? Did I not? I told her it was such a good idea. I said, these kids run around all year for 4 years worrying about their GPA. It's like constant. It's constant.
Hold on, I'll introduce you real quick. Just to explain what Project Lead the Way is, it is we have a lot of really smart, creative students. And so Project Lead the Way are science courses that we offer here at LHS. And actually, Michelle was a big champion of them. So it's kind of nice that now you kind of see the fruition of your work. They participate in it's a nationwide program that promotes science. There are 3 pathways: biomedical, computer science, and engineering. We do offer all 3, all the way through to capstone, which is the culminating project for those 3 pathways. These are projects that were from the annual showcase of student projects. LHS did our own showcase where we chose who was going to go to compete in Boston. Now, Marilee Jimenez was one of our top projects, but it has to be a group project in order to present in Boston. She didn't think she would win, so she chose to work alone. But we wanted to show her off anyway. So, are you ready?
Yes.
All right.
So I'm in Computer Science Essentials, and for our project, we were basically assigned to solve a problem. So my problem that I wanted to solve was to address the issue with students, wondering about their GPAs. So I'm a junior, and during this time, I'm really worrying about my GPA for next year and then for college. So I decided to come up with this. Basically, as it says, it's a GPA calculator. And what I did was I assigned each letter grade, like A through F, like a GPA, an average. So A would be a 4.0 and an F would be a 0. So each letter grade was assigned an average, and then the user would input their letter grade, and it would create a list full of these averages. So it would be for our 7 classes, and each input, as it's put into the list, it will be divided by the classes and then give out the GPA. And it's rounded up by 2 decimal points to make it easier. And yeah, that's it. It's very simple, but I just wanted to help people out.
He was worried about this since he was in the 3rd grade. Right? Tell the truth. What is GPA? You could have had this. I'm going to invest in this. We're going to go national with it.
Oh, really? Oh, thanks.
We're taking this thing to Shark Tank.
You have a business partner, Marilee, so
Yeah.
this is good.
But thank you. This is my project.
To use.
Yeah. Huh?
What coding language did you use?
Just Python.
Okay,
It was
cool.
fairly simple.
Nice.
See, she told you, Greg. Huh?
Thank you.
And we have another presentation. This is Jacob Prentice and Connor Pelletier. And this meeting, which is being recorded, I think should serve as their trademark for this idea, because this one's really good.
Yeah.
This is $1 million idea right here.
All right, so yeah, we come from our capstone course. There's been a couple of different groups inside the course itself. We worked on our hooks, and there was a couple other groups too, if you want to.
Mm-hmm. So in the capstone program, we all come from different pathways. Both of us came from the engineering pathway, but we also had students from the biomedical pathway that also added to different ideas in the class. Like our project was hooks, but there were other projects that helped deaf impaired athletes There was a project that helped people get their EpiPen out of their case faster. And just all these creative ideas finally culminated into this class where it taught us how to put the ideas into motion and actually get an actual product out of it. So that's how we came upon this. So, the problem we wanted to solve was reducing fish mortality caused by normal hooks, specifically deep hooking, which I think he would like to talk about.
Yeah, so normal hooks, they usually have a point kind of over here on this on the hook, and basically when the fish swallows that hook and you go to set the hook by pulling the fishing rod, it basically stabs itself into the fish, causing lacerations inside the fish, which can lead to death. And we wanted to try and solve that mortality rate, and to do that, we kind of we thought about how it would react with the stomach and other internal organs. So we started with a design trying to go for strength to compete with no edge to it, to kind of give it a higher ability for that kind of hook. So anyway, we started with a triangular shape, and over time, as we started testing, we went through different iterations, trying to add more grip, more strength, and we went with our regular hook design, except adding a curve at the top instead of just a straight point. And over time, we thickened the length and added this internal curve to the hook. That doubled our strength of the hook by, it doubled our strength of the hooks. So over time, we added more pieces to it, adding a point on the inside of it to kind of hold onto the lip more, because our design, basically, it's when you're inside the stomach, this is going to kind of glide itself around the stomach lining, and it's going to pull itself out of the stomach and into the lip by sliding into that lip. And when you pull it, this point right here is going to hold onto that lip. But yeah, we also got, as we were testing, our equipment here at the school wasn't able to really show us how much this hook could hold, so we went to RPI, which is where I'm going to be going as well. RPI, it tested, we contacted Craig Pine, that's their material scientist, and he was able to test it for us. He got us that the data we needed, and we made a graph out of it, which is on our poster.
But with that material testing, we were able to figure out that our hook made out of plastic would just not be enough for some of these bigger fish. And the problem with the plastic is this curved edge right here, it's just not sharp enough. So we're like, oh, how about we get this made out of metal? So we started contacting different steel workers, and I sent like 40 emails, but since the scale was so small, they weren't willing to work with us. But if the hook was made out of carbon steel, it would be much, much more effective. Because when we tested it out in the field, we had someone go on a fishing vacation, test our hook in different cases, and every single time it catch on the fish, it just was not sharp enough to hook it.
Yeah, and another another problem we had with that occurred, as we got a smaller design, shrinking our hook, basically our nozzle size for that 3D printer we had wasn't enough, and so it kind of causes like smudging of the tip, so it's less pointy, less accurate to what we want it to be.
But yeah, this class has just taught us to reiterate, and when our current solution doesn't work, we don't just put it down, we keep working on it till we can get it to a place we're proud of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll offer $2 million with 30% stake.
This is Shark Tank. I'll double it. No.
Reach out to maybe an industry that makes hooks to see whether they would work with you on design.
No, but I did talk to a guy from Boston University that was offering to actually help us make it, because they have the machinery we need there to make it, but that it just went nowhere, unfortunately.
So patent your idea and follow it up.
Yeah. It's only 10 grand a patent, but whatever. Yeah. Did you get accepted after this project or before? Did you get accepted to RPI after?
Yeah, before, yeah.
Oh, okay, good. That's good that did they know that you were accepted into
Yes.
it? Yeah, and they helped you. That's great.
Yeah, I actually went to the accepted students day, and that's when I met him.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, great design,
job.
definitely.
Thank you.
So when you guys are rich, we want to have like the Prentice and Pelletier scholarship.
Yeah.
Every graduation. I want to, if I could just also thank Dave Larson, who's the computer science essentials teacher. Sarah Freiberg's here. She is the engineering teacher for this program. And they did do cards. One for Sandy for how she made an impression. And one for you, Mr. Mayor, for coming to
Thank
their product. So.
I was overwhelmed. There was a lot of good. I'm glad I wasn't the one that had to pick the winners. Because there was a lot of good ideas there. And the thing is, you know, with ideas, you gotta stay on them because there's different materials.
Yeah.
And you gotta get the cost so that people will buy them. There were a lot of great ideas, but people could never get down the cost. There were a group of electricians and engineers back in the 70s that developed a 10-speed that had automatic transmission. And so they ran into little, well, not little, but big obstacles like getting it to market at the right price and getting the weight. The weight just was too, so they were always refining it. It was more of a hobby than anything. I think they had hopes, but you just stay with it because you never know who you're going to run into. And you may modify that 10 more times. And then you may find, you know, the polypropylene or some other product that's less expensive and it works just as good, something that's biodegradable or compostable that you can then use in the ocean in case the things, or in the lake when it, so I wouldn't give up on the idea. I'd keep going because you're going to run into the right people, right? I mean, that's the whole thing with this is, you know, but it's a great idea.
Yeah.
And I don't like that when fish, you know, like you catch fish to eat.
Yeah.
Right? You don't catch them to like throw them back in and then a couple minutes later they're gone because you rip their bellies out, right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah, and this would this is more for catch and release, like you said.
Right.
Yeah.
You stay with it. You're going to make some money here. I'll give them 25%.
Did you use that more for lures or bait?
Bait.
Bait. What kind of
Yeah.
bait?
Worms.
Worms, yeah. Worms.
And that's another problem we actually had. Initially, it was very round.
Yeah.
So we added that point also to make it easier
To
to
keep the bait on it.
Yes.
Yeah, that was another part of that was another problem of it being plastic. That sharpness, it wasn't sharp enough to put the bait on it. Just trying to shove this blunt object in a worm, it was just not.
You should
not
try
good.
how to get a lure though. There might be another option.
That would
Have you
work.
tried metal 3D printing? You might be able to get a better tip.
Oh, I looked into it, but I could not get a response from the people who had those kind of machines. We also don't have the money in the school to get a 3D printer like that.
Yeah.
You just keep shopping that thing around. You'll be surprised.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You got the concept, right?
And thank you very much for this. I'm going to frame it.
Very nice.
See, great thinkers. See, Superintendent, that's why we need that entrepreneurship program, partnership with Clark University is going to really open up some doors to, and for them as well. They're just as excited as we are to open up that partnership to, we've got great thinkers. Great thinkers, like the Wizard of Oz. With the Scarecrow, he got an award, great thinkers. Where I come from, they were great thinkers that do nothing else but think all day. And then they go to universities, and when they come out, they get a diploma in thinkology. You don't remember that? I didn't get an award. He's getting the award. There are people that do nothing but sit around and think all day. All right. So, where are we now? Can I just give a big plug while on this for, because it ties into all of, I think, what we've been doing tonight, is the Best Buddies program had their prom at the high school last week. A lot of the students, there was so many students and staff there to support it. What a wonderful program. And then Gamma had their fashion show at the Eagles the other night. And it just a big thank you to everyone in our schools and our parents for always including all kids. That's so important, to include them all. And they had such a good time. As soon as you get the parents away, the kids are fine. Right? We overparent sometimes. Sometimes you just got to let kids be kids, students be students. That came from the Wizard of Oz as well. That's right. I'm a good man. I'm a bad wizard at the end when they catch him behind the curtain. All right. Now we're going to move on to presentations and discussions. We're first going to go to the strategic plan overview. Are we ready for that?
Yes, thank you.
Oh, no, she's bringing a chair.
As they're setting up, I'm just going to introduce this. Our strategic plan, as you know, the one we are currently working on, the 5-year strategic plan, ends June 30th, 2026. And so we have spent the year gathering information from all of our stakeholders to be able to create a new 5-year strategic plan that will begin starting this next school year. And so there are several members of our steering committee who are joining us today. Our steering committee worked all year analyzing the data that was collected from our stakeholders and being able to develop our priorities for our new strategic plan. And so with that, I will turn it over to some of the members of our strategic plan steering committee to talk a little bit about the process and where we currently are.
That's going to drive for us. So
okay.
Just give me the next slide, Matt. So the list of all of the staff members that took part in this year-long strategic planning process. And as Robin had said, we have some of the very dedicated staff members here that you don't get to see very often. So the rest of us that you see me all the time, I'm just going to take a step back, and they're going to go forward with that. We also have a guest with us tonight. We've been lucky enough to have attuned partners help us over the last few years in facilitating some of the work that we do. So having someone kind of in the background to organize and collate and also then provide us with some in-depth research. We have Dana, she's going to start tonight. So Dana Lehman from Attuned, and then you have our wonderful teachers and administrators here.
Perfect. So my name is Dana Lehman. I'm a Chief Schools Officer with Attuned Education Partners, and I've been in education almost 30 years. I was a teacher, I was a principal, I ran a small school system in Boston, and for the last 9 years I've been working with districts all over the country, but primarily in New England, and Leominster has been a real privilege to work with. My colleague Malika and I were able to facilitate the strategic planning process. I'm going to leave it to the team. The only thing I'd love to point out to the committee is that we facilitate strategic plans we've done it now in hundreds of organizations, and Leominster stood out because the steering committee was so representative of the organization at so many different levels. Some districts plan their strategic plan with just their cabinet and maybe a principal or two, but in Leominster it was a real inclusive process with, as you saw on the list, just a broad swath of the district. So if we can go to the next slide. We just have a couple of goals for us this evening. Hopefully by the end of this you will have a better understanding of the process and the roles of the various stakeholders done this year. We're happy to answer any questions about the current state of the plan, and as Superintendent Desmond shared, it will be completed this summer, and we can introduce some ideas about how we're going to measure success. So I'll turn it over to the steering committee. Oh, sorry. There you go.
So we went through 3 different phases right now for our committee. So the kickoff was August through October, trying to reach out for interest on the committee and making sure it aligned to the project plan, who was going to be part of it. In October, there was surveys that went out, and we had held Zoom meetings with different committees. And then the strategic planning committee started meeting in November to May to break down the data and picking out what would be our top things that we wanted to plan on reaching for our 5-year plan. You can do the next slide. So this kind of shows all the numbers of people that were involved. So we had 2,400 total responses, and then it broke down to students and alumni, staff, and families. So we had 4 staff focus groups with each level of teaching, so like high school, middle school, elementary. And then there was 3 student focus groups, 3 family focus groups, and then school committee interviews. And then this kind of just breaks down a little more our performance data. what outcomes we wanted, the student culture, workforce data, so looking into teacher turnover, looking at suspensions, or just anything for student culture that would be beneficial. There was a set of in-classroom observations where lots of people went into classrooms and kind of watched and took back with them some of the things they were seeing for our past plan and our future plan. And then there was a survey for all the stakeholder groups, again, for collecting all our data. So
a few of us are just going to share some key takeaways. I'm sorry. I'm Michelle Ray. I'm the principal at Skyview Middle School.
No, I'm Sarah Fontaine. I'm a 4th grade teacher at Northwest.
So some key takeaways that we're going to share, is that the diversity of the stakeholder group really contributed to a thorough look at all of this. It was nice to have such a diverse group and for everybody to still look at the district and consider the organization as a whole.
How you doing? My name is Chuck Rooney. I'm a teacher at Leominster High School. I'm actually a parent of a student in the district also. For me, when I came on board with this group, it was in November, and it was a huge task that was in hand, but we met 8 times throughout the year. And because of that, instead of just meeting 3 or 4 times, the 8 times really chunked it out for us and made it more attainable and more appropriate on how to reach the plan that we wanted to meet.
And I'm Josh Romano, the principal of the high school. So my takeaway from it was to try to think district-wide instead of just focusing on my school or siloing each school, to look at how like something that happens in pre-K and how that eventually builds up to the outcomes that we want for our graduates. That was my takeaway.
We can go to the next slide. I'm Kaylin Tamulevich. I am an ABA sub-separate teacher at Skyview Middle School. So we looked at all of the data and broke it down into what our priorities will be for our strategic plan. So our first one is to strengthen instructional quality and rigor in every classroom to ensure excellent and equitable outcomes for all students, to ensure all students have equitable access to grade level learning through strong tiered supports, to create safe, welcoming, and coherent school communities, and to shore up foundational systems to ensure district-wide coherence.
It's me again. And so each of those 4 priorities has indicators underneath them. We're not going to read the whole plan to you, but this is just an example. These are the indicators for the first of the strategic priorities. And so each of those each of these indicators builds up towards those priorities. And each of these indicators has somebody in the district who is responsible by name for implementing them and ensuring that that work is happening. There's one more level down.
And for each of these initiatives also has a set of deliverables. So again, we're not going to go through the whole thing, but you can see that this first priority has 3 different deliverables that are underneath it. And a deliverable is a concrete, time-bound product or action that advances an initiative. And Josh just mentioned that each one of these initiatives has a timeline to it, and it also has a lead person who's responsible for it. So if you look at this chart right here, it just shows this 5-year plan and what is expected to be done in each year, and then who the lead person is for that plan.
And as you can see from this slide, this is a review for priority number 1. This will, if you notice on the left column, you have your initiative with some success statements in the middle, also with the time, June 2027, and some examples of what implementation measures you would have for each one of those deliverables. So the big thing is, this is only priority number 1. On the next slide, you can see here there's a timeline, and that in August 2026, there's going to be more priorities in place for you to see. So there's a lot of work ahead of us to get things ready for August 2026 to be able to fine-tune those other priorities.
So at this time, if there are any questions about the process, because this was really about explaining the process so that when you receive the plan, the strategic plan, when it is complete with all of the measurables and the timelines, you'll have had a sense of how it was developed and how we looked at multiple voices. As Dana had mentioned, oftentimes all of the stakeholder data comes to a cabinet level and then a strategic plan is developed. Here we decided that it would make more sense for the plan to be developed by teachers and building administrators, because really what we are doing is looking to get to a place where we are in service to as closely to our students as possible, and that is from the voice of the schools. And so that's why it was really important to have all voices represented at the table.
This reflects, oh, I'm sorry.
A plan is coming. You don't have it yet, but we wanted to make sure that you heard from our building level people who were representing the planning process before the school year ended.
So I just had a question. So number 3, the steering committee identified 4 strategic priorities. Number 3, create safe, welcoming, coherent school communities. We already do that. So you might want to say enhance or use another word, because from walking through the buildings, I think you do. I give you high marks for that. So I guess part of the strategic plan will be to, I guess, wait for okay, here's how we're going to do even more. You know what I'm saying? In other words, I think we want to communicate to people that we already do a really good job of this, and we're really committed to it, but we're ready for the next tier. That's just me. I don't come with any money back guarantee, nor do I have any licenses other than to drive. So take it for that. But
the initiatives for that one do start with strength.
right.
This represents an incredible amount of work.
Yeah, it's a lot
and
of work.
Dialoguing and hours and hours and hours. And I'm assuming that the vocabulary also in terms of interdisciplinary activities and the different courses, that there would have to be a common vocabulary when you're talking about strategies or whatever. I mean, this is incredible. I'm really very, very much impressed with this, and I thank you.
The steering committee mentioned they did 8 meetings. They didn't mention we gave them homework in between each meeting in addition to their busy jobs. So we're very grateful.
Well, thank you for doing that.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Having gone through other strategic plan processes, being on the committee for a while, this certainly is a much more comprehensive platform and involved a great deal of different variety of folks, stakeholders. So I really appreciate the comprehensiveness of this process and look forward to seeing what it lands. So thank you for all your hard work. We appreciate it.
What do you feel is the hardest thing that you've encountered? You can all answer at the same time or just jump ball on it. What's been the most difficult? The thing that haunts you at night?
I would say I really thought there was going to be very different perspectives, K through 12, but then when we all sat down at the root of it, we are all very much in common and are looking for the same things to happen throughout the entire district. So it was nice to norm on that commonality. So the things that I thought were going to be a big difference actually turned out, I think, to be our strength.
I think it helped at the beginning of each meeting. We had 5 things to keep in mind, and a lot of us kept choosing the students. So I think that really helped us keep together, knowing that it's going to start in kindergarten and go all the way to 12th. So how can we keep building that foundation to keep it going no matter what grade it is?
So, to speak, actually, I think, Mr. Gould, to what does keep me awake at night is I worry about, what if our funding falls apart? And we can have great ideas. It's the things that we can't control that I worry about, because I think we have amazing people here. But the things that we can't control, those are the things that I worry about. Funding is always one of them. You never know. We're doing all right now, and you never know. So.
She hit upon, I don't remember your name.
Me?
Yes.
Sarah.
Sarah. She hit upon something starting from kindergarten up to grade 12. The kid who's in the kindergarten will change and keep on going, and they'll all change. Against their will or with their will, and they'll be changing with you or against you. How do you fight that or combat that or go with it? Because the kid who's in kindergarten, he or she's gonna have a different kind of viewpoint in the second grade or third grade,
Yeah. So I've
and the
worked,
teacher too.
Yeah, I've worked K1 and now I work 6, 7, and 8, and I can tell you, like, the basic needs of students are always going to remain the same. So we meet them with those needs, and then we adjust accordingly based on age.
According to age. I know it sounds like a very sad question on my part. When you say age, do you mean chronicle age? Or, because, for example, a child who was born in Leominster, I think if you're born a particular time of the year, you have to wait till the following year. How does that play with you guys? If someone has to wait a year, or they have a year older or a year younger? How do you deal with that?
I think we have highly trained staff that are aware that there is a little bit of age discrepancies and there's developmental differences between kids, and we work to meet them there, being aware of what's going on in our classrooms.
Okay, I'm happy, thank you.
That's a good answer.
Very strategic. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you all. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
You know, one of the things, Superintendent, that might help us is, we spent, I think the longest meeting we had here is on how we track the students using our software, curriculum, how are they doing, how do we, when they fall off course, and how do we get them back on? We talked a lot. So I don't know when the next time that we can get the results, because we really, do you remember this, us at length? It was our longest meeting about, you know, why wait till May to find out a student is way behind math when started having problems? So, was it?
It's
So,
always been
can we-
the devil in the details with that.
Right.
You're
So-
right.
But we have software now. The teachers and staff have been trained on it. So I'd be curious to see the results when we did our measurements along the year. I mean, I would think that the numbers would be better as a result, and that's what we're looking for, right? I mean, some of the goals that were shared here were, well, I'd like to increase this by. There you go.
Hey, let's do it. No, I think for me, what we haven't seen is obviously take out names, right? But see, what does that data look like? How do we identify this child's in need of more services? What's that thing that, you know, like a real life example of where, you know, we
started here.
Yeah.
We had a problem. We went here, and these are the things that we did to.
Yeah, this is the thing that this is the threshold that put us over, told us that we needed to get, and seeing that real life data, I think would be good to, at least for me. I don't know. Yeah, but just see the process. So like one student maybe of where we're like, hey, they were doing okay, and then we saw that they did this, and that's where we jumped in and got them assistance, and then that's how we, you know, here's how we tracked afterwards. Yeah, just thought.
Okay. And now for some real strategic planning. How long has this project been going on?
2021, I think.
Really?
First, state
Letter to,
went to them.
yeah. Well, anyway, here's our project team, working on the Fallbrook Elementary School. And it is, it's been a pleasure to work with a great team that really keeps us comfortable and informed every single twist and turn.
That's right.
And so,
The pleasure's all ours.
did you want to do some introductions and then
Yes.
kind of bring us up to speed as to where things are happening? Okay.
Yep, absolutely. So thank you for allowing us to come and present to you tonight. My name is Craig DiCarlo. I'm with Left Field. I'm your owner's project manager on this Fallbrook Elementary School project, and I'm with Nareda.
Hi, Nareda Rodriguez. I am a principal at Millidire Spears. We're the architects in charge of the project.
Can you just spend a second talking about the concept that we bid this out as design build? And just because we use it in that terminology, we talk about it all the time, we know. But I think the school committee probably does, but the public should understand in the past, it used to be, you know, we hire people And at the end, if something goes wrong, everybody blames each other. And oh no, I didn't know there was supposed to be a beam there. Oh, it's the person who designed it. So I think the process is so much better in the process that we've adapted. But if you spend just a second on that, I think it'd be helpful.
Absolutely. So to start, before I get to that, so it's been over a year since we were last here, so we wanted to take an opportunity to catch you up on where things have been over the last year and few months. Also to give you an opportunity to ask any questions you might have about the project. And thirdly, to use your connections to spread word that this new project is starting construction at the end of this month, at the end of June, so that as people start seeing construction activities begin, the public knows what's going on. So, to the mayor's point, Matt, would you take us to the next slide? Ooh, that looks different on the printout. So if you look at the printout, there are fewer exclamation points. The MSB, each one of those exclamation points is, this is the MSBA process, to the mayor's point. The MSBA's process is very linear. They require their partner communities to go through, to explore all options, evaluate them, and then decide what is right or what is best for your particular community. So it's not, so while the process is prescriptive, where you go with it is tailored to each community's needs, unique needs.
So when we did this building,
yes,
there are many people that say, why don't you just tear the thing down and build a new one? Well, okay, but the problem is the state came in, did an assessment on it and said, we'll do a renovation expansion. We won't rip the building down. We won't contribute. And there's just no way that we could afford to rip the building down and build another one. So that's an example of the process that we go through to evaluate all the mechanicals, the building, the structure, everything, the age of the building.
Yep. So that was a long process. Geez, that was probably 2023. The design team went through, did an evaluation of the existing Fallbrook Elementary School, looked at options where we would keep that as is, just fix it up, bring it up to code. Looked at options where an addition would be put next to it to augment because it is undersized for the student population, and looked at options of taking it down and building a new school. So they were all investigated. They were all priced. The cost estimates were assigned to each one or developed for each one, and that was all presented. All that data and information was presented to the building committee first, which is a group that spans multiple stakeholder groups in the city. And they selected what is called the preferred path, the preferred schematic. And that was given to the MSBA. This is what we think makes the most sense. They evaluate and say, we agree with you. And so then a partnership is formed through a document called the Project Funding Agreement. And that details the budget. So everyone's in agreement on the budget. Everyone's in agreement on what the project scope is going to include, whether it's that demolition or build new, et cetera. And also the schedule that the project will be executed on. In addition to the number of students and the educational program, the educational program is determined by the school department. So all of that gets put in so that at the end of the day, when someone says, why do we have this project versus the myriad other options, we can go through the paperwork and show them these are the steps that we took. These are the directions and the choices that this community made that resulted in the project that you have. And it's the theory is that you've optimized and you've got the best possible outcome based on your unique needs and budget availability and circumstances on the site and all those things.
Thank you.
Certainly. All right. So the exclamation point with the red box around it is where we currently are, and that is number 6, step number 6. And it's the very end of the design phase. The next step, of course, is construction. Matt, next slide, please. So this is a very high-level schedule. It shows that with that red arrow, that's where we are today, summer, just about into the summer of 2026. Wrapping up design, getting ready to bid the project. The small bar, it's almost a square below it that's labeled ESP, that's the early site package. So as part of this process, this analysis, it was actually recommended by a professional construction manager that the city hired to help with the planning. They said, hey, you could reduce the amount of construction time, the overall building construction time, by starting that site in the summer. And the design team agreed with that. They said, yes, we'll do this site package in the summer. It'll minimize the disruption to the existing school, which is going to remain occupied, and minimize disruption to Samoset, which is also going to remain occupied during construction. And so that's going to be the first step of construction, which will start again at the end of June. Then over the summer, we're going to be bidding the project out, and then we'll move down into the next big bar, building construction, and that is about, let's see, it's 2 full years for the new building. This is kind of a multi-step process. 2 full years for the new building, which is going to be constructed next to the existing Fallbrook, and we'll see that in a moment on the site plan. We'll open the new school, move everything over, open the new school, and then we demolish the old school and finish the site. So after 3 years, you'll have a fully complete building and site, and we'll be out of your hair and move on to the next project. Next slide, Matt. And so now I'm going to turn things over to Nareda, who will bring you through the latest design.
Great, thank you, Craig. All right, let's go to the next one. Thank you. So this is our site plan. What you see, it's a little difficult to see on the screen, but you can sort of see that magenta color is the existing school. So we're going to be realigning the parking lots in order to create a safer way for you to go up the hill on the Chico Drive onto Samoset. So there are 2 loops. The first smaller loop that's closest to the Chico Drive, which is the road on the bottom near the Fallbrook, is going to be the bus drop-off. And the second loop on the top, I guess I have a pointer here. The second loop on the top is for the parent drop-off. And we want to separate those, obviously, but also create a larger loop road in order to ease the traffic that happens on Union Street, and have fewer cars, hopefully, or no cars lining up at the street when there's pickup time. The other part, do you want to be?
No, I can
Oh, you want to
yeah.
be our Vanna White? Thank you. The other part is we have the playground sort of in the back, where the existing gym more or less is where it is, and the kindergarten existing trailers right now, and then the field that we're taking over is going to be replaced. Yeah, that's the new building, and then the new field is going to be to the right of the playground. So that's sort of the overall, and then the hardscape is going to be sort of on the number 3 there. We're going to have a basketball hoops as well as painted pavement games. The other part that is, so the building itself is sort of nestled in between the hill that's between Samoset and the Fallbrook and Elementary. And so we'll be building a large wall, so the retaining wall there to sort of keep the hill back. The building itself is oriented as much for the classroom building north-south as much as possible to gain as much daylight and so that we can use less lighting throughout the day. All right, let's go to the next slide. Part of what we've done the past year, so the fall of 2025, and we're going to finish now in the spring of 2026 and summer, is repairing the sewer and culvert that's on the existing site. We had some damage that was done to the sewer lines when you had the big storm in 2023. That work was done to repair that and to clean that up before the construction started. So that work was already done. And then the culvert itself needed to be relined. So that's some of the photos you see on there. And that has also been completed. And that's part of the site work that we initiated last year. Next slide. All right, we're going to go through the architectural plans for those of you who haven't seen these. They're very similar to what you saw a year plus ago, like Craig said. I'm going to. So we have the main entrance is here. This is where the parent drop-off is right here. To the right of the existing building, we have the main entrance. Excuse me. The existing building is right behind us. Here is the gymnasium. The administrative offices are directly next to the vestibule for security reasons. We have the cafeteria as well and the nurse's office, and then some of the back of house receiving area and custodial staff. So the goal for this building was to create a 1-story, 1.5-story spaces that are shared spaces for the community. We've worked really well. We had different options that were looked at, but it was really important for the building committee and for the district to have spaces that were shared with the entire community so that after hours they can be used for other activities. Then we have what we call the knuckle in the middle. That's OTPT, the music room, which is at the same level as the platform. Then there's a ramp and a stair that on the main center of the area. And then the classroom buildings are the sort of the light blue and pink and orange spaces. So we have 3 grades at each floor. That's a 2-level building. So we have the kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grade on the 1st floor. There is an elevator that's in the middle of the building to take everybody up to the 2nd floor. And then on the one of the parts that we also have the STEM and the project room, sort of part of that knuckle space that's shared by all the different classrooms. And the idea for that was that we would have the science and technology part of the projects, that we could have some of the instructional part in the STEM room, and then if there is some 3D printing or other activities that could happen, that could be done in the project space. They could also be used for other services that are used throughout the building. The building also has shared project spaces for each of the grades. And the idea for that is that they could be pull-out spaces or small group instructions for each of the grades. So there's a shared space by grade, and there's also smaller smaller spaces for both for SPED and for ELL spaces that are providing the different services for the students. Let's go to the 2nd floor, please. On the 2nd floor, the magenta space, you go up the main grand stair. You'll see some renderings in a few minutes. We have the art classrooms off of that main stair. And then the libraries on the 2nd floor. That creates, again, a secondary hub on the 2nd floor for the older grades, the 3 to 5. And similarly to what we have downstairs, we have shared spaces throughout the corridors to break up the massing of the building. The other spaces, what you don't see, the gray is the mechanical space, and then you start seeing some of the roof levels here. We will have mechanical that will be a displacement system. The reason for that system is that it's quieter, so teachers do not have to raise their voices when they're speaking in the classrooms. That was really important. We have acoustical partitions throughout the classroom so that there's acoustical separation so that you don't have as much noise between the classrooms, although there are connecting doors between classrooms, so those are left open, that the noise is shared. We have a teacher's workroom on each level. That was really important. We had a lot of conversations with the teachers at Fallbrook at all the levels. At one point, we talked to every single teacher, and they gave us a lot of feedback as to what was important for the way they taught today and how we can sort of plan for the future. Next slide, please. And then we're going to show you really quickly some of the renderings we've been working on. These are updated renderings since the last time we were here. So you could start, this is an aerial view of the building. You see the entrance with the canopy. The materials we try to use are sort of representative of what you see throughout Leominster and New England, but also sort of the scale to try to break down. The building is a much bigger school than the existing Fallbrook. So to break down the scale, we have different types of roofs, both sloped and flat roofs. We have brick, metal, and glass are the main materials on the exterior. And we have brick sort of on the lower level, and then at the classroom wings on the 2nd floor, we have metal panels, corrugated metal panels. Well, what you see on the right hand of that is the larger volume is the gymnasium, and the 1st floor is where the offices are, and then you can see the peeking through above that is windows into the cafeteria. So there's clear story windows facing north to bring some natural light into the cafeteria. Next slide, please. These are both views into the main entrance of the building. Again, having a canopy, so there's protection for the teachers and the students as they're waiting to be picked up. This is the main entrance, again, having a little bit of wood, sort of warming up the space, and that wood canopy is going to continue, as you'll see, into the lobby area as well. Next slide. This is the courtyard that's created by the jog of the building between the cafeteria and the kitchen and some of the classroom buildings. This is going to be a functional space if you want it to be after hours for activities that happen for the community, but it could also be a special place to be used by the students when weather allows. Next slide. This is the play space that's right off of the gymnasium. We have a second lobby between the main stair and the gym, so the students can come out for recess directly to the outdoors. Next slide. So we'll start going inside. This is the vestibule to the main entrance. We have two vestibules for security reasons. The larger vestibule that is going to be, when the kids are dropped off, the doors are open and allow kids to come in. But the one on the left is a smaller, you have to be, if you're a visitor, you'll have to be buzzed into the smaller vestibule that's directly connected to the front office. Once you're into that vestibule, you still cannot come into the main school. The person at the desk will ask you what your business is at the school. If you are allowed to be in, you come in, but instead of coming directly into the lobby, you'll be coming into the main office. So there's different levels of security before visitors let into the school. And to the right, you'll start seeing sort of the wood, like I told you, bringing the wood ceiling into the lobby. The glass is looking back towards the office so that the main office staff can also see what's going on in the main lobby. And then a sort of a seating area in front of what is going to be the cafeteria. Next slide, please.
Quick question.
Yes.
Just about security. Is there going to be like two-way glass? Like, are we going to tint the glass for the entrance like we have now in a lot of our schools?
So the glass that we are in the proposal is not completely bulletproof, but it's not. It's going to.
I don't know that's what Mr. Perlo is asking. He's asking about the tinting.
The tinting and stuff. Is it because
we don't want to talk about the specific?
We
We don't want to get too specific.
It's not going to be tinted, but it will be security glass. We are actually having a final meeting with the working group to look at the colors next week, but you can sort of start to see, we talked a lot about having calming colors, earth tones throughout the building. So the graphic on the right of where the TV is shown is just a representative. It hasn't been fully developed yet, but starting to bring some of the concepts of the school where the concept is to have these trails that talk about the different paths of education throughout the school. So to the right is the gymnasium path, so that this is the activity path and the wellness path. We have tile throughout a lot of the walls in order for protection and longevity, so it's easier to maintain throughout. We don't want to just have drywall that will get scratched over time, especially on the lower part where the kids have their backpacks. Next slide. The gymnasium has a steel structure that's going to be exposed, and we'll have basketball hoops that will retract and will open and lower and raise for the different heights of the different students. Next slide. This is our cafeteria. So we've introduced wood beams in two spaces. The cafeteria is one of them, and the media center or library is the second one. The cafetorium, as we call it, will have a stage that's accessible. There's a ramp on the right-hand side, and we have booths and little cubbies in order to allow for students that have that want the ability to have a smaller space and still be able to feel comfortable in a much larger cafeteria. Yes.
What's the capacity for the amount of people?
For the cafeteria?
For the cafeteria.
In this
So
cafeteria.
they're going to have 3 lunches. The capacity is around, I think it's around 250 to 300, I can't remember off the top of my head right now, but it will be large enough, more than large enough for at least a third of the school to have lunch at one time. And then
And
we
if-
also have the ability to take the tables off and set it up as an auditorium. I believe we have about 400 seats for that.
That's what I was wondering. Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Sure. Next slide. Now we're like, well, the lobby is behind us. This is the ramp that gets us to the classroom building. To the right where it says play is the lobby that gets us back towards the play area and the recess areas. And you're going towards the STEM room, and to the left is the music room. Next slide. This is again looking back towards the lobby and the main entrance. We will have a different graphic. This was just a representation that we will have some graphic design on the wall there as you're coming in. The stair, well, again, we have some tile on the walls with some pattern, and the railing will have a nice color to it. We also raised the height of the guardrail to be 4 feet instead of the standard 3'6". Next slide, please. And this is just one of our typical classrooms. This classroom is representative of what we see more on the first floor, where we have about 24 to 28 students, depending on the size of the classroom. All of the classrooms have built-in cabinets against the exterior wall, so there's shelving and cabinets for storage of materials for the teachers. The teaching wall will have a screen in the middle with 2 whiteboards on either side. For these classrooms, we also have, every classroom will have 2 sinks, an accessible classroom and another hand washing sink, and high storage cabinets for all the teachers' materials. Next slide.
What about lockers?
So on the first floor, good question. The first floor, we have cubbies for the younger students that are inside the classrooms. And then on the second floor, for the older students, we will have lockers that are on, off of the corridor.
On the second floor and the first floor, I must have missed something. Is there an area where someone in a wheelchair can go up or down?
Absolutely. There's an elevator that is.
If you're not using, if he doesn't want to, if the kid doesn't want to use an elevator, the kid just wants to go from here to there, is there a ramp to go up in a wheelchair?
No, there's an elevator for this.
Just
if
the
you went to
elevator.
The second floor, correct. And that meets ADA requirements. On the second floor, you come up the main stair. To the right is the art classroom, and towards the middle of the plan is the media center. So you start seeing some of the activity happening within the media center. Next slide. This is sort of a close-up as you get closer to the main entrance of the media center. There's small areas for small group instruction to the right of the entrance. We did sort of make a lot of the glass be up high so that you could still have an ability to teach a class within the library, as we had a lot of conversations with that about that. There's a book drop-off right off of the corridor, and the main entrance, that's where sort of some of the glassy areas are as you come in. Next slide. And then this is inside the library. We started to sort of, again, like I said, bringing the wood beams inside and having a lot of interest in color. We sort of have a pattern with some acoustical paneling on the walls. And then the librarian's desk is facing that main entrance door so that she can see students as they come in and out. And that's it. So thank you so much for letting us to present. I don't know if you wanted to talk about what the mayor said as well, but there is a website where we keep all our presentations, and if you have any more questions, please we do want everyone to use the website, and there's a place where you can also ask questions where the OPM will let us know if there's anything that comes up for us.
Yep. Thank you.
Questions from anyone?
Sounds wonderful.
No? Good.
All right. If you do have questions offline, feel free to either use the website and the frequently asked questions. Those have an email address you can send it to, and it gets to me, or go through Sandra, or the mayor, or Robin, and send me an email. I'd be happy to answer whatever you got. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Very nice. Opening day, do you want to go out on a limb and predict a day that will be opening? Craig? Did you want to predict a day that will be opening?
Yeah, so we're aiming for the start of classes fall of 2028. And so that would be, if that's like August 31st or whatever it is that year, that's what we're aiming for.
Remember it was Y2K?
Yeah.
That was yesterday.
Was it?
Come on, you graduated then.
I know I did.
And has it not felt like yesterday?
No.
No? Well, that's because you keep breaking bones and stuff, so that can lengthen things.
Yeah, I can.
All right, thank you. That was great. Now we're going to move on to the superintendent's evaluation. Do we have an update?
Yes, we do. So we have evaluated the superintendent. She got an overall proficiency rating, and all the comments were extremely positive. They talked about really looking at student data, about really collaborating with the teachers, the staff, the community. They talked about really being centered with good communication, keeping the student achievement as a priority. So all of the comments were very positive, and overall, everyone is pleased in the way that the district is heading. And I will be providing the superintendent with everybody's actual evaluations. But overall, it was a proficient rating, and everybody had positive comments. And we're feeling that the superintendent is very attuned to the school community, and really have seen parents, staff, and students.
There you go. Pretty good, huh?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I never got that kind of report.
Can we do your evaluation next?
No, please don't. I'll buy you all pizza. Pizza seems to be the thing that solves all diplomacy, right? That's what I was saying. It's the only meeting that I was online watching. Let's go, superintendent. You could do a little better here. Let's set some high goals. A little pepperoni next time and some anchovies. Let's step it up. Oh no, we got salad going on. Pizza. I saw that. To perfection. All right. Now we're going to move on to see the minutes to the May 4th.
Sure. I make a motion to approve the minutes from our May 4th school committee meeting. I'll second.
Okay, any errors or omissions? The only thing is, I didn't let Mr. Mamoni say, "May the 4th be with you." And I was taken out of context when I said that you said it was the last time. But I want this to be the last time.
Never know.
So we got to correct the minutes, so you have to say it. Thank you. I stand corrected. We'll make changes in the minutes. All in favor? Those opposed? Thank you. Policy subcommittee meetings, finance updates, warrants.
So I was not able to attend tonight. I don't know. Did we have a chance to review all the warrants? Okay. So everybody was in favor of them. All right, so I read through them, I guess, and then we have a couple other approvals that we need to do. There's only 4 warrants. Okay. General fund warrants, number 44, totaling $7,154,296.14. Warrant number 45, $321,270.75. Then we have grants and revolving, warrant 44, $712,000 $24.48. Warrant 45, $58,449.97. Make a motion to approve those.
All right, you heard the motion? Second by Josh. Any other questions, comments? If not, signify in the usual manner. Those opposed? Thank you.
We have a transfer request.
Bless you.
Bless you. Request the following transfer from general fund salaries to general fund expenses totaling $650,000 as stated in Table 1.
Make a motion to approve it.
I'll second it.
Questions or comments? So do we have, usually we get sort of a itemized list of some of the things, if you already have planned for that, or did you already need that to finish out the year for fuel or something? But normally we get kind of a breakdown of,
I did mention in the meeting that we were using the funds to do some pre-purchasing of curriculum.
okay. So do we have any projects going on this summer break? Do we have anything happening that, we usually have project carpeting or painting or whatever? Nothing? Okay. All right. Thank you. Yep. Oh, yeah. Oh, we got to vote on the, we have a motion and a second. So any questions or comments? If not, all in favor? Those opposed? Thank you. We got the transfer. Greg? We did not.
Number 2 on the agenda.
So do we need to do a transfer for,
No, it's a vote to allow us to use some funding from school choice.
from school choice? To what?
To pay a previous year bill that came up.
That's related to school choice.
That's where we are allowed to pay it from.
Well, what's the bill?
So it is a fallen bill, part of our Aspen program that we use, our software.
Okay.
And we had a bill that came about with the vendor where we were going back and forth with them whether or not we owed the bill. There was some question there. And so as we were going around it, it sort of came across the years that the school.
Okay, so it was resolved, and so now we need to pay the bill. Okay. Did we get any discounts? You weren't able to negotiate lower price?
And get a late fee at least.
Oh, not
All right. Okay, you heard the recommendation. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Make a motion by Ron, second by Josh. Any questions, comments? If not, all in favor? All right, we have a transfer. Vote on individual contracts.
So I'd like to make a motion to approve the individual contracts based on the information presented to us.
I'll second.
A second. Does this have to be a voice vote?
I don't think it.
I don't
needs
think
to
so.
be a voice vote, no.
All right, so I have motion and a second. Okay, motion and a second. All in favor? Those opposed? Thank you. And let's see,
Half day.
what half day?
Somebody who needs.
5A.
needs to-
Vote on the last day of school, June 23rd, 2026.
Make motion to make the last day of school, June 23rd, 2026, a half day.
Can we make it a full day?
No.
Second it.
No.
I'll second it.
Wait till I tell your daughter we could have made it the 20th.
I know.
You're going to be in trouble. I'm going to tell her I made the motion to make it 2 days earlier. All right, heard the recommendation. For the record, one more time, the last day of school is June 23rd, and it's a half day. All right, all in favor? Those opposed? Thank you. Where did we miss? We missed obsolete equipment. I don't even know what you call these pictures. It looks like a Wild Wild West Barstool
We really got
brawl
our money's
is what
worth
it
on
looks-
that leather chair there.
Look at that desk.
All right, we have a
Second.
motion to second. Is this like for dumpster stuff, or is this to be sold? Because I see something in here, an eraser that I think I'm interested in.
You want it?
I was going to bid on it.
Look at that chair. Look how worn.
Duct tape. Duct tape.
Probably somebody that retired tonight. That's their
tape.
chair.
All right, all in favor? Those opposed? Thank you. And then approval of the field, where are we going? Field trips.
Switzerland.
This is a situation that in the past we have gone back and forth about whether it's under our purview to vote or not.
Yeah.
But our legal department has said, yes, this was in our purview. you, even though the trip is being sponsored by an outside company, we're having staff from our school system chaperone, meetings being held here, et cetera. So we need to vote on.
What's the trip?
There's two of them.
What?
They need to invite us.
What?
So one's going to.
I would've chaperoned.
Paris and Milan and Florence, and the other one is going to France, Germany, and the Alps.
And one of the.
Nobody asked me.
And the trips, I think,
Doesn't
are,
suck.
leaving a little bit early based on our school schedule being extended, so they'll miss a few days of school.
Not bad, huh, guys?
No.
Huh?
Yeah,
Anybody
22nd.
ask you if you wanted to go? Wow, what an experience.
I think they.
Really? Oh, that's good. Well, you know, in Europe, if you, in the summer months in Europe, kids 14 and above, they just crisscross, they travel the old train system, and they just crisscross all over Europe all summer long. It's so fun to see, so I'm glad that our students are getting a chance to do that.
A motion to approve the
All right,
field trip.
second? All right. All in favor? Okay.
Have fun.
Jealous. Eighth graders, they're going tomorrow?
Tomorrow,
They're gonna
yeah.
catch good weather.
It's supposed to be a nice week down there.
Good
Maddie's
for them.
excited.
Good for them.
I gotta bring her at 5:30 this tomorrow morning.
Just tell them it's not a swimming pool.
I know.
It's a collective pool.
Oh, yeah,
okay?
I know. It's not done painting yet.
Diving. Oh, I've been there a couple times, and I was thinking of jumping in because it's so hot out there. It can be hot in June. All right, now we're going to move to new or old business. Is there any new or old business come before the school committee? I didn't give a plug for the Hall of Fame, and they did just a wonderful job, and it's so important. There's so much history here in sports, but the capabilities of this software is we could do theater. It's endless.
That's
Every
awesome.
teacher that's ever worked here, every yearbook can be scanned in.
Yeah.
It's
Amazing.
amazing, but they did such a nice job. And it's hard. I mean, we have so many trophies and things that people have done over the
Yeah.
years, and you don't want to lose that. It's important, but if you go back, there's a QR code, and you can also get it online. So anybody anywhere in the world that wants to reminisce or go back and look at their class or what's
that's good.
happened since, it's just really
Yeah.
impressive. So thank you to the Hall of Famers. They do this. This is all just out of the kindness of their hearts and fundraise and everything else. So a big thank you to them. Anything else on the new world business?
CAPS. You have some information there with regard to their quarterly report, the finances, the hiring. There's been a few questions that Chris and I have had with regard to the information, because DESE is requiring us to share the information, and yet I can receive the information, I can open all of the appendices and the addendums. However, when I send it to Chris, she is not allowed to open it. So she and I have been having multiple discussions with the staff over there, and I even went in to talk to the executive director, because if we're supposed to share it, I mean, unless I print it out at home, but there shouldn't be a problem, because it has to do with finances.
Right.
We're giving them money. So I sat with the executive director for about 45 minutes, and it ended up being like a catch-22, so I went back to Chris, and the two of us formed a plan, and then we received a message that it was really contradicting, don't you think, Chris, what they had said originally?
Yes, basically what they wanted Santa to do is vote on what their budget, their staffing, whatever, and then come and tell you guys what they voted on. That's why they wouldn't give me access to the information. So we said, no, that's
Backwards.
like the cart before the horse.
Right.
She's supposed to bring the information to you, and you're
Yeah.
supposed to agree with the budget.
Right.
And the staffing, and then she's supposed to be the representative to go back and vote on it. So.
Yeah.
Look at you, just
So-
like Dateline.
So, yep, so Chris and I formed a team, it's like Thelma and Louise, so we've decided,
Nice
you know,
job.
this is what we're going to do, and then, whichever one you want. And then we just, again, contacted the powers that be over there, because we're right.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't, how can?
Right, you vote on
It's the
something
cart before the
before.
horse,
Yeah.
you know, because the money was being expended. You figure if we're spending like $95,000 a student to send them wherever, and then I say to you, okay, here it is, good luck, what are we going to do? So I think we made the point, the last time, it seemed, yes.
Yeah, but
we
last
did.
time
We
we messed
won.
with you.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, so take that, Caps.
Take that.
Be messing with our Sandy.
Yeah,
They learned their lesson.
And then, yeah, let's hope.
Well, good job. Thank you for looking out for us.
Okay,
And
you're welcome.
students and staff and everybody else there. It's the right way to do it.
I just have a quick question, because I've gotten some inquiries. I think at one point it might rain on Saturday, but now I think it's looking nice. What are the rain plans, and if we can just mention that so the community knows.
If it rains, it's going to be your fault.
So the rain date is Sunday, June 7th, and it is noon. It is a little later than the Saturday timeframe, just because there are a lot of religious events that go on in the morning on Sundays, and we didn't want to have a conflict. And so that is the plan, noon on Sunday, if Saturday has to be
You checking the weather there,
canceled.
Jennifer? All
We're
right.
checking the weather
Breaking news. What is the weather?
constantly,
Breaking
and I
news.
believe there is going to be sun in the morning.
It was showing sun originally, yes.
PM showers, it's saying.
Yeah, it's nothing. Preposterous. We don't need any.
Okay.
Nothing to worry about here.
Well, I'm
Good.
showing no rain.
Hey, we were outside with a
Good.
little
Just a
drizzle one year.
passing thunderstorm
My,
potentially,
That's
so,
like,
in the
poncho.
afternoon.
Piece of
Afternoon, yeah.
We'll be fine.
Partially
Oh,
sunny,
okay,
we can
good,
get
that's
the
good.
thunderstorms in the afternoon, so.
I can't wait.
Okay.
Nice.
'Cause I was gonna say, my kid's not graduating, so
Oh, is anybody here, anybody have somebody that's graduating in your family? You want to hand the diploma? I do. All right, just let me know so that all of a sudden somebody
signed up for it.
doesn't,
That's fine.
that doesn't attack me from the behind like happened in the past. No, it wasn't you, but literally, I'm standing there, I thought I was being attacked. Like, yeah, no, literally, I'm like, just stay easy.
It only happens once, like, you know.
Oh, I know, but I didn't know what was going on.
Can't have a redo.
I thought this is like the Leominster Fitchburg game and somebody from 75 was coming back to tackle me. No, it wasn't you, trust me. You're very
No, I
kind.
just live right away.
Yeah, well, that's how you're supposed to do
You
it.
walked in front of me the year that Phil graduated, that was 2007.
Well, you haven't forgotten.
Diploma, and there goes Dean right in front of me. I thought,
Well, I don't know,
Wow.
because you didn't tell me.
try this again.
You got to tell me. Just communicate. Strategic plan. Strategic plan. Ron, tell them, strategic plan, you got to communicate.
I graduated in '69. We didn't have all this convoluting.
I gave you guys your diploma. You ought to show some respect. You know, bring pizza in or something, you know. All right, and one last thing is the fields behind the school. It's coming out so nice. We did a drone. We were doing some practice with the drone footage, and it just looks remarkable. It was really exciting, so. Remember, we had some, we bid it out, so it came in lower than we expected, which was good. We had a good bidding time, so it allowed us to do some other things in it that typically we wouldn't have. And it still leaves some work for the CTEI students to be able to do down the road, so. This is like exciting. All right,
Make a motion to adjourn?
sure. In a second, but not so quick there, Sandy, Miss Procedure. All right, anything else from anybody? If not, all in favor? Those opposed?
See you
Okay.
Saturday. Or Thursday.
Thursday.
See you Thursday.
Thursday.